minute type of thing where we're at that level offensively, the level defensively as we are offensively, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
How do you compare the spacing of this team to some of the other teams you've had being able to work with that space here tonight?
Yeah, the spacing is different. You got guys who can shoot at every position, guys who are capable scorers, proven scorers, so it's making the game a lot easier. And all these guys are unselfish. We play for each other. We make the one more pass, so everything's a lot more easier.
You and Keon have competed against each other for a while now on different teams. Now you're on the same team. What do you see out of his game now and where it's going?
I've seen his game expand. Just us being in the same class in high school. Watching how he's like kind of transformed. He went from like a utility, do-it-all kind of player to where he was a role player. His freshman year with a really good Kentucky team. Last year he was hurt, but he showed some promise as far as offensively being able to take mid-range jump shots and be a guy who can score. To now where he's an all-SEC caliber player. We see him put the full package together, whether it's getting in pass lanes, creating unassisted baskets, dunking it. Obviously 4 for 6 from 3. Being to space the floor. So Keon is a mismatch at this level, and if you bring that consistency, there's not much people can do with him.
You and Keon both talk about those areas we need to improve. We're not as good as we think here tonight. Is that the vibe coming from the locker room after the game tonight?
Yeah, like I said, we want to win the national championship. So obviously we know what we do good, but we got to find ways to get better. The biggest thing is winning. And when we win a game like this, we did this good, but like what do we need to get better at? And that was the vibe, is holding each other accountable to getting better on the defensive end. So I think if you see that, it's just more accountability than anything rather than but we'll be great, we'll be fine.
Hearing the guys talk about two hands grabbing rebounds for you guys, has that been a point of emphasis all season just to?
I think that's been a point of emphasis of Coach Cal. I think during his whole coaching career. I remember watching film and I'm hearing him scream 2 hands as the guy's going up for the rebound. Because you don't want to lose a game where you're going up for a rebound with one and it slips out your hand. And it's like, there's no excuse for that. So 2 hands is that security, is that toughness that you bring, and allows us to get out on the break and do what we do best.
Keon told us that you make him and really everybody want to run the floor. Mm-hmm. When a point guard hears that, what is your reaction to?
I love that. I love that a lot. I love being able to get these guys to play their hardest. Because if they're playing their hardest, I'm going to reward them. That's my job, make these guys feel good, play good, look good, and win. And guys like Keon, obviously he's a veteran, not only in the college but in this program, being a guy who's had 2 years experience. If he's buying in and knowing that if he runs that I'm going to get him, he can spread that message to the other guys and the younger guys at his position. So that's good. That's great. It's great to hear.
He says he has to be a lot more alert now than he's ever been.
Yeah. Now that comes with playing fast. That comes with Coach Cal wanting to push the pace. I'm giving everyone that freedom to make plays and make shots.
Dribble separation is something that this team struggled with a lot. It feels like your presence has allowed this whole offense to change, and like the whole philosophy is different. How do you think your presence has allowed Cal to kind of change the entire system?
I think that's just been my game. Going back from 3rd grade, if I was going to be an effective player at any level, especially with me being undersized at my position, I had to affect the game in some way, and I have elite speed, so why not use my gifts? And when you play in basketball, you want to play fast. It's more possessions. Everyone gets to touch it. Everyone gets to eat, and I think that's part of that. And I think Coach Cal, as long as he knows we're not turning it over, from the guard standpoint, I think some of us were 6-1. I know I was 6-1. Ty. Yeah, he was 2-0. Even Davion was 6-1. So us guards not turning the ball over, it's giving us more trust. Knowing like, hey, these guys gonna make plays. They're not gonna turn it over. We're gonna make the easy play. And if we do that, we're fine. I think Coach Cal is letting us, empowering us. This is our team. It's a player-driven team. Obviously, he's the head honcho, but he's encouraging us and empowering us to make this about us.
Yeah, I remember during your recruiting process how analytical you were and meticulous and looking at the details. You posted that video about watching the film and all that. Last year's team is just such night and day in terms of pace and just the system itself. how were you able to plug and play yourself watching that film and see yourself in that vision of putting yourself in that offense and kind of seeing what is on the floor now?
Yeah, I think the first thing is being able to be upfront with the coaches during the recruiting process and knowing what Coach Cal wanted to get back to. Looking at his teams, the most successful teams and how they played. I mean, those guys, multiple skill position guys who could play fast. Looking at that and knowing like that's how he wants to play. That's how he wants to be. He wants players who are skilled and who can get downhill, who can make open shots, who are unselfish. And so looking at that, and also looking at the roster, like who am I going to be playing with? How can I make these guys better? And how can they make me better at the same time? So looking at all that's how we get to where we are. But we'll be able to play fast. We're able to share the ball, make more mores, and do all the things that we've shown offensively tonight.
Appreciate you, Sahvir.